Out of all the girl names in the world, you had to go with Morgan as the scariest one. What was wrong with Debbie? So Morgan follows a risk management consultant played by Kate Mara. She works for a corporation that deals in some genetic testing. The specific genetic testing they're doing is on human embryos. Their main goal is to create the perfect human being that is smart, beautiful, and athletic. However, in this specific location, located in the middle of nowhere, there's only a handful of scientists, and they've been living there for about 7 years now. They've grown tired and almost obsessed with their work and are very happy with what they created, Morgan. But an incident occurs, and now Kate Mara's character is there to see if it's worth keeping for the company. That's all I'll pretty much say without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just going to tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, tell you if you should see it in the cinema, rent it, or just avoid the film completely. Now, I don't know how many about you have saw the first trailer for Morgan, but I thought it was a really well done trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, you can look it up on YouTube, but basically what interested me about the trailer is they kind of hid Morgan from the marketing material at first. It showed a lab facility, it showed a little cage where it was being kept, and it hid Morgan and what she was capable of. You couldn't even see her face, all you saw was her in her hoodie, and I thought, wow, this could be really interesting. Something that was genetically created and has now gone rogue. Sounds like a good horror movie to me. But then the second trailer came out and it dissolved all my hopes for Morgan. Still, I've seen many bad trailers and ended up liking a lot of those films that gave me bad trailers. However, Morgan is not one of those films. There's a lot of issues that go on with Morgan. One, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, this film is just like Ex Machina. And which upsets me because Ex Machina was done on a low budget, and because it was done on a low budget, it didn't get that big of a marketing push. It was a very underrated film, not a lot of people got to see it, and so I highly recommend anybody watching right now to go watch Ex Machina, because if Morgan interested you at all, this film will be 10 times better than anything Morgan could have made. Back to Morgan though. The big issue lies with Kate Mara. Now, she was the main lead of the film, and I like Kate Mara. She's an amazing actress. I like her in almost all the work she's been doing except Fantastic Four, but that's not her fault. And in this film, she comes off very wooden, very one-dimensional. You don't like her at all. You don't get a sense of her personality, and there's a reason for this, but the reason isn't even worth it. And then you have the test subject of Morgan, who again is one-dimensional and wooden, but there's a reason for that. It's a genetic experiment and doesn't know how to socially interact. So you can forgive the actress for that because that's what she's supposed to be going for. However, when this is your main character and this is your main villain, and they're both one-dimensional wooden, what is the interesting thing going on here? I'd like to say the supporting cast of doctors, scientists, and cook in this film are good, but not really. One of the things that bugged me the most is because these scientists have been spending 7 years of their life in this one facility stuck trying to build this perfect embryo, they grew obsessed with Morgan when it was finally created and they were happy with the result. However, just like in the trailers and from the very start of the film, you know Morgan is a dangerous test subject. Yet these scientists are overly protective of Morgan, which I can understand to a point where you see this thing grow up, learn, you love it, you think it's your child. Which I understand because I was actually a daycare teacher for the longest time, so I know what it's like to see a child grow up and you have that special bond with it. But if that child started poking teachers in the face with forks and biting their necks, I ain't gonna like that kid no more. Yet these scientists stupidly risk their lives to save what they know is the little devil. Last big negative I'm gonna give the film, I mentioned earlier that Kate Mara's character is wooden and one-dimensional for a reason that doesn't pay off in the end. There's a twist in the film, and the twist is glaringly obvious. I noticed it right away, and even when the twist finally happened, so many people in the theater went, "Oh, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it." Honestly, the only redeeming quality in the entire film that doesn't make it a complete waste is in the film you have Paul Giamatti's character as a psych evaluator that comes and talks to Morgan to see what she's like mentally. And that whole 5, maybe 6 minute scene is just amazing. Paul Giamatti is an amazing actress, and for those 5-6 minutes, I was really into the film. It had a lot of suspense to it, and I thought, you know what, the film is picking up here, it could be amazing after all. But right when Paul Giamatti leaves this scene, it goes right back to being dull, boring, and sometimes even laughably bad. In the end, guys, I don't recommend Morgan for a cinema viewing. If you do happen to see this film come up on Netflix or Hulu, then yeah, I say go ahead and check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it then, but as of right now, don't go spend your hard-earned money to see this on the big screen. It's not all that worth it. Go check out Ex Machina instead. But anyways, guys, that's all I'll say about this film. Let me know if there's anything you agree with me on, anything you disagree with me on. If you did see Morgan, tell me what you found redeeming about the film. But as always, guys, I'm Chris, and I leave you with the 3C Film Review. Take care.